Okay, could we maybe start with your full name, please?
Yes, my full name is Chloe Xu, and sorry, that's okay.
Chloe, tell me, are you working or studying at the moment?
Actually, I'm doing both. I am attending graduate school here in Seoul, and at the same time, I'm working at a Korean barbecue restaurant.
Okay, so would you like to, if we talk about schools and workplaces, would you prefer to talk about your studies or your workplace in this case?
Maybe workplace, I think it's a very interesting place to work because we have members coming from different countries such as China, Japan, Korea, of course, and Nepal, is that correct?
Nepal.
Nepal, sorry. Yeah, and Cambodia. Yeah, so I think it's very dynamic and a very young group of people.
Okay. What do you think about the working environment? Do you think you've got a good working environment at the moment?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I think my manager, who is very energetic and has great leadership, he can lead the whole team into a very good direction. Yeah.
Okay. And what is challenging at your workplace?
It's super busy. Actually, I worked last night too. For the entire 5 hours, we just kept working, yeah, without like no rest at all. So.
Okay. The next question is actually about like resting and so at the workplace. Do you guys have like an area where you can rest and relax a bit?
No, I wish we have that space, but fortunately, no.
Okay, I see. What advantages do you think it has if a company has like a resting or a relaxation room?
I think it provides the employees with a space to like take some relaxation and so that they can enhance their work performance. It's very important to like strike the balance between work and rest.
Okay. Have you ever thought about changing jobs?
When speaking of the current job that I'm doing right now, I would say no, because I'm pretty satisfied with that. Yeah.
Okay. How do you get to work?
Sorry.
Yeah, how do you get to work, like the transportation?
Yeah. I go to work by subway. Yeah, I usually just take like several stops in about 20 minutes to get there, so it's very convenient.
Okay. You mentioned that you were from China.
Yeah.
Another topic we can talk about is the news. So, how often do you talk with your friends about the news and what's happening back home?
Not very often, I guess, because I'm not a very enthusiastic about the latest things. But recently, I know about a movie which is very popular in China. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you read the news this morning?
No, I didn't have enough time to read news this morning. Did something important happen?
Not that I'm aware of, at least. So,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. How do your friends get the news?
I suppose mainly via cell phone because it is our like main tool for getting connected to the world, I guess.
I see. And if you were to try and find out more about the news, how would you get it?
I may use a cell phone or my laptop to search for the news that I'm interested in.
And what kind of news would you be interested in normally?
Since I am a fan of musical theater, so I often search for news in terms of musical theater. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for part 1. Let's move on to part 2. So I'm going to give you a topic.
Yeah.
Let's start the clock when it's about making notes. When you're ready. Yeah, I'll give you a minute for that, and then after you can start speaking. Okay, that's time. Okay, when you're ready, we can start with the speaking part.
I want to share a day I spent with my friends last month. On that day, before that day, we decided to go to a remote, ancient Korean town in the suburb area, and we got there by bus and then got by subway and then by bus, and it took us about an hour and a half to get there. Since we went on a work day, so there were few tourists, and the town was so tranquil, and it has lots of interesting places to visit, specially decorated cafes, antique shops, and great restaurants too. So we had some scrumptious food at a restaurant, sipped some coffee at a cafe, and bought some souvenirs for our friends. And we strolled down the town for about 3 or 4 hours, and had a great time there. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a bit more about the place where you visited?
Oh, it locates in the southwest part of Korea, and has a history of 2,000 years, I suppose, and has a small river that flows through the town, and has a wonderful scenery. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, talking about holidays and visiting places, to go on holiday can be tiring. Why do you think people still do it?
I think maybe in China, people don't have enough holidays to spend, enough time to spend with their families. They can only do something interesting with their families on holidays. If they have another choices, I suppose they will pick another time. Yeah.
I see. Why do people like to have days off?
I think it's obvious that we want some balance between life and work. If we don't have enough time to rest, then that might affect our work performance, I suppose. So it's our basic instinct to have some days off.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that only old people have enough time for leisure?
I don't suppose only old people have enough time for leisure, because because I know some young people who have enough time to rest too. It's like an individual choice, I think, because we have 24 hours a day equally, and some people choose to work and travel and do something very busy, but others are fond of more are fond of things that can rest. That can make us more relaxed. Yeah.
I see. How does technology affect the way that people spend their leisure time?
I think technology affects our leisure time greatly. For example, nowadays it's prevalent for people to watch some short videos on on cell phones. So it is something that never happened about 100 years earlier. So it's definitely something good that technology provided for us. Yeah.
How do people spend their leisure time in your country?
Well, I suppose people spend their leisure time based on individual hobbies and needs. For example, if you are a person who pays attention to health, then you might go to the gym and do exercise for hours. But for some people who might need some relaxation, you might lie in the bed and watch some TV dramas for a whole day. So it's kindly based on what you like and what you need.
What do you think is generally more popular among people in your country, like to stay in or to go out when it comes to enjoying their leisure time?
Well, I think that's based on personalities and hobbies and ages, on many factors. To put an example, I am quite an introverted person, so I like to stay indoor to spend my leisure time. But some people who are more energetic and wants to get connected to others, they might like grab a lunch with a friend. So it's yeah.
Do you think there's maybe a difference between Korea and China when it comes to how people spend leisure time and what they like to do?
No, I don't think it is something about nationality. It's just like I mentioned before. It's a combination of individual hobbies and needs. Yeah.
How do you like to spend your time off?
Since I'm a musical fan, I often go to theater and see some outstanding musicals in my spare time. Yeah.
Is there anybody to share that hobby with, like any friends that have the same interest as you?
Yes, I occasionally see a musical with a friend. For example, last week, me and my friend saw Aladdin. Yeah, the musical Aladdin. Yeah, and had a great time. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, feedback time.
I'm so nervous. Sorry.
You don't have to stress too much. Actually, there's mainly positives.
Yeah.
You're very fluent.
Yeah. Thank
You've got good language skill. You use very good vocabulary.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of grammar issues. Like I really had to try and find mistakes.
Yeah.
But it was hard for me. There weren't many mistakes that you made.
Yeah.
I think the only one that comes to mind is to put an example rather than to give an example.
Yeah.
It's the only mistake that I could really like find that you used incorrectly. So I think overall very positive. I would give you a 7.
Yeah.
The only things that I could really advise you to improve on is maybe to use less filler words.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't think of anything.
like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you could just learn to do that less, I think you could easily go up to like 7.5.
Yeah.
Maybe even 8. I think maybe
I don't know.
nervousness can play a big part in it as well. I think one more thing was, and again, I'm really like trying to find mistakes here. It's not that you made many. You used instinct, like you described people having a day off. It's part of their instinct.
I don't know why I used that word.
I mean,
it just popped out of nowhere.
It's not completely wrong. You could maybe use it just in the context of it's part of our instinct to want leisure time as well. Maybe if you just framed it in that way, it would have been perfectly fine to use.
So what did I say?
You just said it's human instinct. Like you didn't expand enough on the idea of us wanting that as a need. Otherwise, I think another tip I could maybe give you is just to speak a bit slower.
Oh yeah.
So that
I was so nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you speak a little bit slower, it gives you time to think about what you're going to say next to. I think when a person is nervous, you tend to speak more quickly.
Yes,
and your mouth is going faster than your brain.
Yeah, so I make more mistakes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if you could just slow down a little bit, less filler words, I think you can easily go from like 7 to 7.5, maybe even 8. If you can just build your confidence a little bit more, but really that was it was very positive, honestly. Yeah. Do you have any questions from your side?
No, that I can think of right now.
Okay, well, I think we're done then in that case.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.